It's a strange feeling when someone tells you what you can't do on your own property. Even stranger when that person is someone who moved in next door barely 2 months ago, yet acts like they've owned the entire block for decades. I metan veles. I run a small but thriving software company, and after years of grinding in the tech world, I finally had something tangible to show for it. A beautiful home with a pristine pool nestled in the upscale community of Greenwood Estates. This pool wasn't just a luxury. It was my haven, my daily reset button, until my new neighbor, Vanessa Harper, showed up and tried to change the rules. Vanessa was stunning. Let's get that out of the way first. Mid-40s, impeccable fashion sense. Always dressed like she'd stepped right out of a lifestyle magazine. Perfect hair, designer sunglasses, yoga-toned figure. But behind her carefully curated image was something darker. An insatiable desire for control. We first spoke the day she moved in. She knocked, smiled politely, and introduced herself as a wellness consultant. "I just want you to know," she said with a friendly yet firm voice, "this community thrives on respect and cooperation." "Absolutely," I replied, friendly and open. "Nice to meet you." At the time, I missed the undertone. I shouldn't have. A week later, I was swimming in my pool around sunset when I felt eyes on me. I glanced up, and there she was, standing at the fence line, staring silently. "Everything okay, Vanessa?" I asked. She flashed a tight smile. "We have quiet hours here, Ethan. Starting at 6 p.m. I check my watch. It's barely 6:15, and it's just me here. "I can hear splashing," she said coolly. "It's disruptive." I brushed it off. Just a misunderstanding, I thought. But soon, things escalated. The next weekend, a few of my friends from work dropped by for a casual barbecue and swim. Vanessa appeared again, phone in hand, recording us blatantly from her backyard. You realize you're violating the community rules by having guests in the pool area without HOA approval, right? I paused, genuinely confused. "This is my property, Vanessa, and these are just friends." She raised an eyebrow, unbothered. "We'll see what the HOA thinks." Within days, notices piled up, warnings from the HOA about noise complaints, unauthorized gatherings, and even misuse of shared community amenities. I double-checked my property deed and boundaries, confirmed my suspicions. My property, and specifically the pool, was exclusively private. Vanessa and the HOA had no jurisdiction. But Vanessa wasn't done. She called the police. It was surreal. 2 patrol cars rolled into my driveway, lights pulsing gently against the evening sky. "We received a complaint," the officer started, clearly puzzled himself, "that you're illegally using community property." I calmly handed him my property documents. "Everything here is legally mine, officer. The complaint has no basis." The officer reviewed the documents, sighed, then apologized. "Sorry about the inconvenience, sir." Vanessa, watching from her porch, looked furious, and yet unfazed. That's when I realized Vanessa's problem wasn't just misunderstanding boundaries. It was personal control. She couldn't stand being proven wrong. The complaints kept coming. Noise, unauthorized structural modifications, even claims about improper landscaping. The HOA started siding with her increasingly aggressive stance, making my daily life exhausting. So, I decided to quietly fight back. My company specializes in software and online investigations. I knew how to find secrets, and Vanessa had plenty. Late-night research turned up her past, 2 lawsuits for slander and defamation, a fraud investigation involving a wellness retreat she previously ran in Florida, and even a restraining order from a former client. She had moved states hoping for a clean slate, but brought old habits along. Armed with information, I chose patience. A few days later, Vanessa confronted me again, this time near my driveway. "You need to comply," she insisted, sunglasses hiding her eyes. "Or what?" I asked, finally ready to confront her calmly. "I'll keep making life difficult. I have the HOA behind me." "You know, Vanessa," I said quietly, pulling out a folder, "the funny thing about making trouble is that it usually circles back." Her smug expression faltered. "What is that?" "Your past. Public records. Lawsuits, fraud charges, restraining orders." Her face paled, then flushed with anger. "You're bluffing." "I never bluff," I smiled calmly. "I suggest you reconsider your approach." She didn't. Instead, she doubled down. 2 days later, she called the cops again, this time accusing me of harassment. When the police arrived, I handed them the neatly organized folder. The officers reviewed it quickly, faces stern. Then they turned to Vanessa. "Ma'am, we're going to have to discuss some of these allegations down at the station." Her jaw dropped. Excuse me? You've made multiple false complaints," one officer said firmly. "And given your history, this looks like harassment." They escorted her gently, but firmly, to their cruiser. Vanessa was eventually released without charges, but the damage was done. The HOA, embarrassed and unwilling to continue backing her, issued a formal apology to me and retracted every citation. She moved out quietly the following month, and my community life finally returned to normal. Peaceful swims, quiet evenings, friends dropping by freely. Reflecting on everything later, I realized Vanessa's story taught me powerful lessons about boundaries, patience, and the danger of unchecked entitlement. People like Vanessa often hurt because they're hurting inside. This didn't justify her actions, but it helped me see her not just as an antagonist, but as someone whose life had spiraled out of control. Understanding this didn't make the experience pleasant, but it made it meaningful. Today, my pool is my sanctuary again. But now, it's also a reminder of something bigger. Sometimes the hardest confrontations can lead to the deepest lessons about ourselves and others. In a strange way, Vanessa gave me clarity about what matters most. Protecting your peace while never forgetting the power of empathy, even for those who challenge you most. If you've ever faced your own Karen or HOA nightmare, you're not alone. Here at The Mirror Moves, we turn real-life drama into powerful lessons about life, community, and human nature. Hit subscribe for more stories of justice, drama, and unexpected lessons. Drop your story in the comments, because sometimes the best drama is our own.